France's amazing studio is one of the closest things the computer game world has to a super group of designers. This silly-looking team has among it the creators of both Flashback and Out of This World. They've been working for the past 3 years on a PC adventure called Heart of Darkness, which will be distributed by Virgin Interactive. This is not an adaptation of Joseph Conrad's classic tale of corruption and power. It's an original story based on one of the oldest themes around, the journey from innocence to experience. The hero of the story is a freckle-faced boy named Andy. Like a lot of boys his age, he's not very fond of school and doesn't get along with the teacher very well. To tell the truth, he's terrified of him. But even when everything goes badly, he can always depend on his dog, Whiskey. One fateful day, Whiskey is kidnapped, and Andy knows he must do whatever is necessary to rescue his faithful friend. This is a more difficult task than you might imagine. For example, you probably wouldn't expect that Andy would have to look further than his own town or certainly his own world. But in order to reclaim Whiskey, Andy will have to travel to a strange new landscape where danger lurks around every corner and nothing can be taken for granted. But Andy is not just a boy on his own in this wilderness. He has some pretty powerful weaponry for such a little kid. The Ghostbusters would kill for a gun like this. He also has a rocket ship at his disposal. Now, around about this time, most folks are starting to think that maybe this whole adventure is a figment of our hero's imagination. But you'll have to come to your own conclusions. The designers are deliberately keeping the story ambiguous until the game's end. Maybe Andy's just having a major flight of fancy, or maybe he's in severe danger here. Whichever it is, there are plenty of hazards and challenges to keep you on your toes. One of the most impressive things about Heart of Darkness is the sheer scale of the thing. Andy must make his way through over 250 different areas in his quest. The bulk of the adventure is side-scrolling platform style, but there are seamless transitions to some exquisite animations. There are 27 minutes worth of cinematic sequences included in the game. The gameplay itself is also astoundingly smooth. The character animation for Andy consists of 1,600 frames for just one direction. Most cartridge games contain no more than 1,200 for the whole game. There is also a tremendous amount of character detail from both a visual and personality standpoint. This land of darkness is populated almost entirely by soul-hungry phantoms and brutal servants, led by the sinister Master of Darkness. Interestingly, this arch-villain bears a striking resemblance to Andy's teacher back home. What a coincidence. While Heart of Darkness is not being billed as an interactive movie, there's no ignoring its cinematic influences. The visuals combine high-energy action fare like Raiders of the Lost Ark with character design reminiscent of Jim Henson's best work, as demonstrated by the character Amigo here. Even the music is being recorded by a real orchestra and composed by Bruce Broughton, who has also written the score for Miracle on 34th Street and several others. This is not a game for young children. In order to save his canine friend, Andy must confront the dark and the things that live in it, and some of those things can be pretty scary. But players from age 12 on up will probably get a lot of enjoyment out of Heart of Darkness. With the kind of creative power behind it that Amazing Studio has to offer, it's very likely that this game will become a classic of the genre.